Now, the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council, GRTCC, is lashing out at transport operators, describing as misplaced agitations over a proposed 10% fare reduction. The GPRTU and GRTCC, in a statement, proposed a reduction of public transport fares by 10% to accommodate for the continuous fall in the prices of petroleum products observed over the period. Now, this has been welcomed by some commuters who spoke to Joy News here in Accra. We'll hear from the commuters shortly. But first, the statement from GPRTU and the GRTCC. Now, they say in line with the administrative arrangement on public transport fares, the road transport operators have reduced public transport fares by 10% to accommodate for the reductions in the price of petroleum products observed over the period. Now, the statement continues to say that the fares over the following types of road transport operations, the fares cover the following types of road transport operations: shared taxis, intra-city, that's trotro, intercity for long distances, and haulage. Now, they continue by saying that we kindly request all commercial transport operators to comply with the new fares and post same at their loading terminals. We further request all operators, commuters, and the general public to kindly cooperate for the successful implementation of the new fares. We take this opportunity to assure all transport operators and the general public that we will continue to work in their interest. And it is signed by Mr. Godfred Abulbere, General Secretary of the GPRTU of TUC Ghana, and Emmanuel Ohene Yeboah, General Secretary of the GRTCC. Some drivers are, however, unhappy about the reduction. According to them, the reduction will have an adverse effect on their business and will therefore not comply with the directive. Joy News' reporter Carlos Caloni has been interacting with some drivers and passengers.
The crisis is there. We are still in a crisis. That's what I think.
Well, if everything was engineered by the politicians, then it is a step in the right direction. But the sustainability is what matters. If they will be able to, hold on to it and then take pragmatic measures in order to, sustain it.
While many of the commuters here are so happy that transport fares are going down, many of the transport operators themselves are not happy with the proposed reduction of 10%.
That 10%, they have to do more than that. That 10%, we don't see anything of that 10%. That 10% didn't do anything. Because now the economy is there, it's too hard.
Too small. At least 40% or 30%.
We are using engine oil, brake food, spare parts, tires, and other things. So if they say we should reduce it by 10%, they must make sure that those things which I mentioned too should go down by 10%.
We are going to lose totally. It came for first time that we should reduce fare. We reduce it to a certain level. We didn't hear anything about foodstuffs and many other things. Today you are telling us that there is another reduction, so reduce lot of fare.
While commuters and transport operators have divided opinion on the decrease of transport fares in the country, business owners here at Abosokan say they feel no positive impact at all on the exchange rate and other indices in the business they do.
No, I've not seen any positive about it. This one we buy it at 250, but now it's 500 to 550.
So I'm not feeling any impact because the prices of my products is still going up day by day. So I don't think the dollar has come down. It's still rising.
Reporting from Abosokan here in Accra, my name is Carlos Caloni for Joy.
Now, General Secretary for the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council, Emmanuel Ohene Yeboah, says it will be insensitive on the part of transport operators to kick against the reduction when there have been a cumulative 40% reduction in fuel prices.
Already aware. Anytime there's a transport fare increase, basically based on the fuel. So we've done this over the years, and our basis for increasing transport fares has always been the fuel price. Notwithstanding, at the beginning of every year, if we are to do any fuel fare adjustment, we do adjustment based and factor the spare parts, tires, the salaries, whatever into it once a year, and that is why say the argument a bit misplaced. Tires and spare parts are not daily consumable because you buy one tie, it can last you for 2 years. You buy axle, it will last you to the very life of the vehicle. You don't buy engine every time. So those things are not considered at every increase or decrease of the transport fare. Look, what we're doing now, between December and now, fuel has been reduced cumulatively about 40%. So if you reduce fares by 10%, and you are talking about spare parts increase and all that, I think the 30% is a windfall for you, can take care of those expenses. So if anybody says spare parts are still high, yes, we agree, and that is why we didn't reduce it by 40% and 30%. That used to be the case. Anytime fuel is increased, agitation is that to increase the fares by the same margin that the fuel has been increased. So if anybody says that, I think that argument is clear.
Now let's get more reactions on this development. Joining us on phone is the General Secretary of the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council, Emmanuel Hene-Iyaboa, who still insists their decision stands despite these agitations. First, what factors influence transport fares increment?
Thank you very much. My good evening to you, yourself and the listeners. And as I've already indicated, transport fares determination is based on a number of factors. But before now, we have a system where we do transport fare review twice a year, at the beginning of the year and the middle of the year. So it is unfortunate because of the unstable nature of the fuel prices between sometime last year and the previous year. That's what's called for, a regular increase in transport fares. But at least what we know as a practice is that whenever we want to determine transport fares, we determine basically on parts of the price, percentage of the share pass, the other consumables like salary, the vehicle itself, insurance, and other components. That comes about 70% of the total cost goes up. And the 30% from that is the fuel price. So what we do is that beginning of the year we factor those 70%. We do a percentage increase of cumulative from all the other price items, so that when we get the 30% determinant of the fuel, then we add to it and we try to have a percentage of it as a component of the fare increase. So as it stands now, if we are going to even determine any reduction in transport fares, we are not considering the spare parts again. We are considering the cumulative reduction of the fuel as of now. And the last time we increased transport fares was 19%. I think that was in October. And sometime in November, December, we had to do some reduction about 15%. And since then, fuel has come down consistently. So we think it is only fair as a practice that when it's going up, we increase it. When it comes down, it's only fair that we have to go and increase it as well.
So once some of your drivers are citing the price of spare parts to be the reason why they are not supporting your reduction, what are you going to do about that?
Well, it's unfortunate they are trying to kick against it. And like I said earlier on, I think it's money issue. When you are taking money from anybody, of course, every average person will resist giving back what is in his hand. But what I want to understand is that it's only we are trying to build a kind of dignified industry that we shouldn't behave like anytime there's an increase, we want to take money. But when there is a reduction, we don't want to do same to our customers. Because it's only fair that when you demand it, when it's high, you only have to give it back when it comes down. And that has been the practice. So this is the first time we are doing reduction.
And this begins tomorrow, right?
It begins tomorrow, yes.
Okay. So for commuters who probably will have drivers who will decide not to obey your directive, what must they do?
Well, it's unfortunate anybody will resist. But what if they do? What we are saying is that for those who load from the terminal, it's easy to identify whoever flouts the directive. Because we have the station masters and the welfare officers at the station. So anybody who flouts it at the station point, they can report to the welfare officer or the station masters. for it to be situated there. Those on the street, that the Wawa people, we only entreat them that we should try to reason up with us. Because when we increase, we take advantage.
Okay.
When it's reduced, I think you must equally obey and do same. So I don't think you have any challenge. And the general public to try and insist on doing what has been given to them. It will be very small coins. But if you don't take it, it means you are losing your right for future reduction.
All right. Grateful to you for joining us here. Let's cross over to Anas Sabet in the Bono East region for the perspective of commuters and operators in that region. Anas, what is the reaction in your region? Anas, if you can hear me, what has been the reaction of people in your region to this reduction that has been communicated? Okay, so we are in the Bono East region to try and gauge the mood and the reaction to this particular reduction in transport fares. The GRTCC and the GPRTU are announcing a 10% reduction effective Wednesday. So we're asking the reaction of the people in the Bono East. The GRTCC has said that from Wednesday, you as a commuter should demand that you pay a fare which has been reduced by 10%. So you do your own calculation and then you know how much you're supposed to pay from where you are going to your destination. So that has been the news. People have reacted positively to it, but some drivers are insisting that because of the increment in spare parts, it will be difficult for them to obey. But GRTCC is asking that all drivers obey. Anas Sabet has joined us on phone. Anas, so what has been the reaction of people in your region?
Yes, Samuel, this is sort of a good news for the people here at the Kesman main lorry station. Just that most of them I spoke with are not even aware of this particular directive that is being issued. But a few others who are aware say they can't wait for this to take effect tomorrow. And a few of the other guys I spoke with are saying they will do all they can to ensure that the transport unions abide by this particular directive, considering the fact that most of the times when such orders are given, we have some transport operators, going the other way and not reducing their fares. So what they are saying is that this is a good news, and they wish the percentage could even be higher than the 10% that has been announced. It's been mixed reactions here, but largely people are excited and they say they can't wait for this particular directive to be, to take effect starting from tomorrow here at the Kesman main lorry station.
Okay, grateful to you.